How is everybody doing? I'm back with another video for you guys. It's me, 24K Hector, and welcome to 24K Lorcana. If it is your first time here, make sure you smack that subscribe button for more Lorcana videos. I woke up this morning and I need to get this video out to you guys. It's been a while before I've done these videos. You guys know I've been focused a lot on Blue Steel. I wanted to take it a little bit to a different direction, but it's still a deck that I hold very dear, that I've played since a long time, very competitively though. It was actually the first ever big tourney, which was like a 3K or something, back in chapter 1. I played this combination. I played this combination before this guy was even a thing. But yeah, it was very fun. I'm so happy with this build. I like it a lot. I've actually was coaching somebody on Amber Ruby for a bit, and then you know what? I was like, you know what? I need to go back to this deck. It's very good. It's very competitive. I definitely see it have a good deck in the format. If it's built properly and played properly. It actually has some nice weapons, and it's able to keep up with tempo with the way the decks are going right now. I definitely want to explain some lines and then some ways on like how to approach the deck. And I've been testing it. I only have like 2 flex slots. I'll let you guys know what those are in this current build. But you have 2 cards that you kind of interchange. Everything else in this build just feels right, perfect with this format. But yeah, also guys, I want to thank a shout out, big shout out to my sponsor, Top Choice Gaming. I would not be able to build most of this deck without you. I did have a lot of the cards, but a lot of the expensive cards that I didn't have fold, I had sold to Top Choice Gaming, and then they were able to just kind of let me borrow some of the cards to complete the deck and play this bad boy. As long as some of my friends from the cookout, Bam, aka Carlos, he let me borrow a nice enchanter that I have in here. So yeah, shout out to him. Also, if you have not checked out the podcast, yes, guys, I am in a podcast. It is called the Cookout Podcast. The Cookout was an original group that I had started back in chapter 1 with some friends that I would test, and we would just talk about Lorcana and stuff like that. And then it made it all the way to become a podcast. So make sure you guys check it out. I'll leave that out in the description below. The Cookout Podcast. They were gonna have some They're actually doing a giveaway right now, so you want to kind of check out episode 2 for that. Make sure you subscribe and leave a comment. You want to check out episode 2 that was out, or episode 3. I'm sorry, but yes, episode 4 is coming out this weekend, and you guys don't want to miss it because there's a big announcement about a tournament coming up. But I will leave that for the Cookout Podcast, and let's get down to this video, guys. I am very excited to bring you guys my good old beloved Amber Ruby. Like I said, I have played this deck competitively back since the 3K, and then I've even won I think I top 3 in like a double box tournament with this. So I definitely do have some experience with Amber Ruby, and I like this deck a lot. I feel like it's one of the decks that I'm able to pirate very well, and deck build very well. So I am very excited to bring you guys this build. But enough of me yapping away. Make sure you subscribe, and let's go ahead and get down to Amber Ruby. Let's check it out, guys. Let's see what we got going on here, all right? All right, so let's go. For my 1-drops, I am definitely playing the Mulan. It's a good character. We were kind of going back and forth for a minute. I had the 1/3 minis with the mini shift line package to add a character and put it on top of the deck, but that did not work out as well. It was a little slow. This is pretty good. It comes out with 2 damage, so it's able to give you already a Rapunzel fodder. It's able to give you Julieta fodder to heal and get up, but also put some pressure on 2/3 because I'm definitely playing the shift Mulan. I'll get that into I'll talk about that when we get there, but that we're playing the 4 Mulans. We are playing the new set Moana. Is able to play the Moana card. It's a 3/2 solid quester. If there it cannot challenge unless you have a captain, but you just kind of quest her away, and then they eventually have to do something about her, or she's just gonna guarantee you lure every turn, correct? So that's what this does. We do have a captain though if we want to be able to challenge with her, and that it goes in the 2-drop section. Good old Piglet, Pooh, Pirate, Captain. If you have Moana and then you drop Piglet on 2, now she's able to challenge a character. Or you can just keep questing her, but this allows you to have that Captain synergy. The Piglet also allows you to have a very fast pace for those decks that are very controlling and you just kind of want to get a head start. It allows you to do so. 2 Piglet is just nice. We are playing good old Mother Gothel. You guys know how that works. She comes out with 3 damage, but if you heal her, she is a 3/4 2-drop. So very good, very strong. She's the main target for your Rapunzel heal without having to have any damage taken from your opponent's characters. 3/4 Mother Gothel. We now have Lumiere. I think that's how you say his name. Fiery Friend. Very good, strong card. It acts like a cove in the way Emerald works, in a way. Your other characters get +1 strength. Your Moana becomes a 4/2. Your Gothel becomes a 4/4. Your Piglet becomes a 3/2. There's a lot of characters, rush characters, and now your Maui becomes a 7. Your Super Goofy becomes a 3/4. More importantly, this bad boy right here becomes a 3/4, which means he just cannot get brawled. Yes, one of the most important cards in your deck in tempo. You can no longer get brawled if you drop this Lumiere on turn 2. This has been one of the most overperforming cards in testing, and I am very proud to have this as definitely a 3 of in this deck. We are playing LeFou. I don't really consider this a 2-drop. If this is my only 2-drop, I'll definitely quest with Moana and play LeFou and stand Moana or Mulan. But this is more for like a mid to late game when you want to stand a character. It also helps you stand the card. I just showed you Gaston, so you're able to double tap. So there's like a play you can do with Gaston, right? So you can like tap and then you get to play him for free, and then you stand Gaston, and then you get to tap and then play any other character with your ink that you used. So it's a pretty good play there. I really like LeFou. I would not cut him. I would not play more. Like I said, this is one of those that just feels right at a 2 of. Speaking of 2 ofs, going to our 3-drop, we have 2 Julieta Madrigals. I have 10 ways to draw in this deck. This is 2 of those 10 cards. It's able to heal up the Mulan. It's able to heal the Gothel. It heals 2. And then if you heal 2, you're able to draw a card. Now, guys, this does not have to heal 2. It can heal up to 2. So you can actually heal 1 and then draw a card. So if a thing has like 4 damage, you can play this and then draw 1 card by healing once. And then you do the Rapunzel and then you heal 3 and then you draw 3. So that gives you a draw 4. So there's definitely those playlines that have came up. Remember, you do not have to heal 2, but it heals up to 2 and it draws you a card. We have a good old Doc. I am playing 3 Doc. We are not playing 4 because we are mostly focused on a toolbox 6-drops. This is more of a toolbox 6-drop deck. But the Gaston is really good if you're able to go the faster route. If you want to go to Mufasa early, because Mufasa is a 5-drop, you're able to go like Moana, Piglet, Doc, Mufasa, and that's how you're able to kind of play the faster route. Doc is a very good quester for 2 that lets you pay 1 less for the character. The main guy, the one we play mid-range control, is Gaston. This guy is an absolute monster. He is the reason that I am playing this deck. Yes, he is the reason that I'm playing this deck. Reason being, as you guys know, I love ramping. I'm a Sapphire player as well. Being able to play stuff turns earlier is absolutely good, absolutely broken. So being able to pay 2 less, so you're able to drop this on turn 3. Next turn, you ink a card, and then you tap this, and now you're able to play your 6-drop. This is why I call this deck a toolbox 6-drop, a 6-drop toolbox deck. It is really good. It is really strong. It is a 3/4 with Lumiere. It has that 4 cushion for Rapunzel. I call it like a sponge. It has that definitely sponge you can use to absorb the damage. And it's a really good card. It is the reason we're playing this deck. For Gaston, guys. For Gaston. We are playing good old Rapunzel. It's another 4 of the cards out of the 10 to help me draw. It helps me draw up to 3. It also has a play line later that it has with Gaston that I'll show you guys. So this guy right here, we call this the toolbox, the 6-drop toolbox deck. This actually has 6 lines as well, which is funny that you can go with Obviously has a bunch of lines, right? But we have 6 specific lines that we can go with him. And Rapunzel involves one of them, and Gothel involves the other. Reason being, Gothel is a 2 cost. Rapunzel is a 4 cost. You're able to drop the Gaston, tap, play Gothel, use your 4 ink, play Rapunzel heal. Alright, guys, so now you don't have to drop Gothel on 2. There could have been a Piglet. You drop Gaston on 3, and then in the next turn, you can go Gothel, and then you can tap Rapunzel, draw 3. That is definitely a strong play, and that is one of the 6 lines that we have for this deck. So that is a good old way to make Gaston a very powerful card. But yes, Rapunzel, we know, absolutely busted. She is a 4 of. Then we are having 2 Erics. Again, we don't always draw the Gaston. We don't always draw the dog. We don't always draw in curve. So we can go. I mean, we don't always draw the dog and Gaston to like skip ink. So this is a very strong 4-drop to keep it going. If you go the 2 Gothel, 3 Julieta, 4 Eric, or whatever, just putting pressure. This is good also mid to late game. It is also very annoying for your opponents to deal with. This is how you out big Cinderellas or Genies more consistently, because as soon as they turn something sideways, since this is a very weak 2 shield card, you just kind of play, you just go kamikaze on it, and then you just kind of get this out of the board to get any problematic character out of the board. If not, it's just gonna, if you're the aggressor, you just keep questing for 2, 2, 2, and most likely, no matter what, it is gonna trade a 1-for-1 at least with your opponent. So it's really strong, and I really like this as a strong 2 of. My 1 of, so the 4 drops, we are playing 1 Goofy Super Goof. Why? Because I have 1 Enchanted Super Goof, and that's why we're gonna play him. Because Lumiere is able to make him a 3-4 because it has a 4 shield and it's able to give cushion, like we said, that sponge damage for the Rapunzel, and that's why we are playing 1. But this does not deal with evasive, so we are also playing 1 Vanellope Von Schreets. This is another my 2 tech cards that I am playing. I have other rushers in the deck. I have 2 other regular rushers and 2 other evasive rushers that I will get to. But these are my kind of tech in the 4-drop slot. I really like Vanellope. And wait, 3-3. She can't out Genie. Lumiere. Yes, she can. Alrighty, guys. So that is the 2 tech cards that I have there. 2 of my other rushers are good old Maui. We do not play more than a Till. 2 is a nice sweet spot. We have other rushers, but we also have we usually skip our 5-drop because we have Gaston, we go to a 6. But Maui's a really strong card still, not to consider. 6-5 inkable card. We play 2 Maui. Good old Mufasa, guys. Broken card. Really good. It is able to bring out some strong, crazy characters that say on play, banish a character. You guys know what that is. But yeah, we have a lot of strong cards, and it's also an aggressor. It's also the way you to play around Be Prepared. It just feels like a Pete sometimes, like the way it is. So sometimes I could have like 2 Mufasas down to put pressure, and if they Be Prepared me, then like 2 other characters come out. So I'm like not really losing value. But yes, for Mufasa, it's really good, and I think it's a really strong card in this format at the moment. Now, for my toolbox engine, I showed you guys 1 line that you can go with, right? With the Gaston being the Gothel and Rapunzel. Another line is this Judy Hopps. That is another 6-drop. We are going support 3-6, so it's able to support a lot of the characters, so give it the strength that it needs to get things done. But also, at the end of the turn, this readies another chosen character of yours, whether that is one of your rushers or challengers, or whether that is going Gaston. And then you end up tapping, and then you end up playing this. And then at the end of the turn, this goes. And then make sure your Gaston is not going to be challenged or traded. And it's going to stay standing versus specific decks. So this is a really good card. And now the next turn, you have that. You have support. You have a lot of different lines you can go. But this is a strong card also to stand other characters as well. This is just a really good 6-drop that I have as a good old 2 of, because it is a toolbox deck. We have 2 Tremaines. Shout out to my friend Bam Bam from the Cookout for letting me borrow this one. I have 2 good old Tremaines. Strong card. Sometimes you're able to challenge, and then just drop one of these cards. Being able to also drop this on, like I said, turn 3, turn 4 because of the Gaston is really strong card. It's really good. 2 Tremaines. Another one. 2 Madame Medusas. You guys know how this goes. You banish a lot of strong characters. I have 3 or less that have really good effects. And being able to drop this on turn 4, you're guaranteed to hit something for sure. Good strong card. Being able to play all these on turn 4, guys, absolutely great. You have good old Goofy Flying Goof. I had been calling for this card about being good, and a lot of people just laughed at me. A lot of people say it's uninkable, though, and a lot of people just talk smack. And then I have been destroying people with this card, guys. It is a 5/5, so it has that sponge damage, but it also outs any pretty much evasive going your way. Also, when you hit them with this, a lot of decks can't answer and hit this back. So this is a really, really powerful card, especially in this deck when you're able to drop this on turn 4. A Ruby Amethyst absolutely gets destroyed by this. Purple Green absolutely gets destroyed by this. This is a very good sleeper card. I should have said the sleeper on the podcast. This is a really, really, really good, strong card. Goofy Flying Goof. Now, we are playing the Shift Mulan. This card is absolutely good against Hyper Aggro. I'm telling you guys, this card is so good. You're able to drop the Mulan, and they're forced to answer it because they know you're, if they, well, even if they don't know, they should respect it. But being on this shift line is really strong. Being able to just get this to 5, triple shot everything. It's just triple shot 3 characters, right? Not everything, but practically it's everything. Also, with the Judy, being able to give this support, you're also able to make this a 5 again, but also Lumiere on board, you're able to make this a 3/6, being able to do 3 across the board. Shift Line Mulan is another one of that 6-drop toolbox that we have. Consider a 5 if you have the shift, right? But I have also played this just like that with the Lumiere, with the Judy on board, and putting that pressure there. Mulan also can be brawled if you have the Lumiere on board. Really important to say that. Really, really good, strong card. Those were my 6-drop toolbox. 6-drop characters. You're going to go to the Stitch for the 7-drop. I'm playing 2. A lot of people play 4. I don't like 4. I've never liked 4 since set 2 or set 3, whatever it was with the Mufasa deck. I've always played 2. It's always felt good. Yeah, this is another one of my 10 on how to draw in this deck. Hopefully I don't draw it early. Hopefully it comes out of Mufasa. Hopefully I'm able to ramp to it and then play and then draw 2 cards. But it is definitely just a strong 2 of. We are playing the best. I had these foils, but I had sold them because, yeah, they were going up. I sold them when they were very high up to one of the members here at the cookout. But yes, shout out to TCG for being able to get me 4 of these. Yes, guys, this card is absolutely broken in this deck. Being able to Mufasa hit it, being able to bring a 9-drop character. Also with a Gaston and a dog, you're able to bring this earlier than it is. So you're able to kind of ramp it away. And then this is just a very strong, the best Mufasa target to date. 4, Maleficent Dragon. And my last but not least, I am playing 2, Invited to the Ball. Very underrated card. A lot of people don't realize that this card is a Pot of Greed in this deck. What Pot of Greed is a Friends on the other side. It just says draw 2. You reveal 2 cards. If they are characters, you add them to your hand. In this deck, this is absolutely value. I will play a 2 uninkable that says draw 2 cards. I will always do that. The reason I don't play more, 1, it is the uninkable. 2, you don't want to do too many actions in this deck because of Mufasa. But there's this ratio has been good, putting me to 10 draw cards, like Invited to the Ball, for Rapunzel, to Julieta, to Stitch. So it's been able to be just the right amount of draw and consistency for the deck. But that is it, guys. I hope you guys like this deck. Hakuna Matata, and go ahead and destroy people with this deck, guys. I hope you guys get on it. I saw there was actually a deck that like top recently with it, which is pretty cool. Its ratios were definitely really funky. It's definitely a different version, but this is just a very straightforward Mufasa, Amber, Ruby, smack it down deck. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you guys show some love, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And check out the Cookout Podcast. And I can't wait till you guys see you guys at the LCQs. We'll see what I'll play then. Still a long time. Got a good month. All right, man. Later. Take care, guys.